Hey everybody, it's Leroy from Leroy Gaming, and in today's Baldurs Gate 3 guide, we're going to look at the Draconic Bloodline Subclass for the Sorcerer. This is the subclass if you want a Sorcerer that is a little bit more tanky, and that specializes within a certain element, so that you do more damage and also have resistances to that element. In this video, we are going to cover features at level 1 of character creation, including ability recommendations. We're going to give you a full level 2 to 12 breakdown. We're going to also show you all the spells available to you as you level. I'll give you some general equipment recommendations towards the end, and my thoughts on multiclassing as the Draconic Bloodline Sorcerer. You can use timestamps below to jump to areas that most interest you. And remember to drop a like and leave a comment below with your thoughts, feedback, and questions. And now, without further ado, let's check out the Draconic Bloodline Sorcerer. Alright guys, we're going to start level 1, and at level 1, important to note, Sorcerer's primary ability is Charisma, and you are going to have saving throw proficiencies in both Constitution and Charisma. Your hit die is 1d6, and you have proficiency with Daggers, Quarterstaves, and Light Crossbows. Now, level 1 baseline, you're going to get access to picking 4 different cantrips, 2 spells, and you're going to gain 2 level 1 spell slots that get restored when you long rest. Now you're going to have a variety of cantrip options, and again you'll get to choose 4. I'm mousing over all of them, so if you want to see the descriptors, just feel free to pause. This is the format I'll use for all the spells, so you can always see what the descriptors and potential damage is on the spells. So again, you'll get to pick 4. You will also get to pick 2 level 1 spells. And you will have a lot of options, but you're gonna get to select less of them total. Now you do get to pick the Bloodline at level 1, and it has 2 major benefits right away. Draconic Resilience is going to give you 1 extra hit point per level. That's going to make you more tanky, and also you get Draconic Resilience, where here you're going to basically have a base armor class of 13 instead of 10 when you don't wear armor. You also get to pick a Dragon Ancestor, and each of these ancestors are related to an element. You also get a specific spell as well. So for example, the red dragon is fire-based. Do note at higher levels, your fire spells in this example will do more damage, and you're going to get resistance to fire. Same format for all the other different elements that are covered. So the red dragon will give you burning hands. The black dragon gives you acid and grease. Blue dragon is lightning-based, and you get witch bolt. White dragon is cold and gives you armor of Agathis. Green dragon is poison and it gives you ray of sickness. Gold dragon is fire and it gives you disguise self. Silver is cold and it gives you featherfall. Bronze is lightning and it gives you fog cloud. Copper is acid and it gives you Tasha's hideous laughter. And brass is fire and it gives you sleep. Now you're also gonna get a cosmetic option to get a variety of kind of scales for your look, and the scale colors will be slightly adjustable. This is purely for looks. Now when it comes to your ability points, I recommend 8 strength, 14 dexterity, 16 constitution, 10 intelligence, 10 wisdom, and 16 charisma. You are more tanky, you're going to get a higher AC than a lot of the other sorcerer setups, so getting dexterity 14 is a good start. High constitution is huge for surviving and also helping you make your concentration checks. And charisma obviously is your primary stat for casting. Okay, at level 2, you're going to get 1 more level 1 spell slot. You're going to get sorcery points, And these sorcery points can be used to alter your spells or to give you more spell slots. You get create sorcery points as a bonus action, or again, you can now get additional level 1 spell slots, or create spell slots. So it can go back and forth. You can either turn spell slots into sorcery points or sorcery points into spell slots. You're going to get to pick another spell. You can have the option to replace a spell, and you're going to get 2 passives. And these are meta magic passives. So you can either get careful spells, which is really interesting, where allies automatically succeed saving throws against spells that require them. This is mainly useful like if you're casting AoE spells like Fireball that you may shoot into a crowded area and potentially hit your allies. There's Distance Spell that's going to make the range on spells higher. Extended Spell, which doubles the durations of conditions, summons, and surfaces caused by spells. And there's Twin, which is very powerful. Spells that only target one creature can target an additional creature. And this does cost more the higher the spell slot level is, but it can be very, very powerful potentially. At level 3, you're going to get 1 more level 1 spell slot, 2 level 2 spell slots, an extra sorcery point to work with. You're going to gain an extra spell that you can choose, but now you also have access to level 2 spells. I'll go ahead and mouse over those for you. And there's new meta magic options, so there's Heightened Spell. So this is targets of spells that require saving throws have disadvantage on their first saving throws. There's Quickened, and this makes it so that spells that cost an action now cost a bonus action. This is very powerful as it lets you cast 2 major spells in one turn, like double fireballs. And then you have Subtle Spell. This allows you to cast spells while silenced. And then of course you can replace the spell. Level 4 gives you 1 more level 2 spell slot, another sorcery point. You're going to gain a cantrip. You're going to gain another spell. You're going to have an option to replace spell. And you're going to get access to feats. When it comes to feats, there's a couple of really good options. You can never go wrong with ability improvements. I can see you upping charisma. I can see you upping dexterity if you want to be more tanky or more efficient at landing certain spells. Elemental Adept can also be quite good. Your spells ignore resistance to a damage type of your choice, since you're likely to be focusing on one type of spells already. Since you're going to have a dragon type that's going to get bonuses to certain spells like Red Dragon to do fire damage, you might as well buff that as well and get the additional bonuses to fire spells, for example. And this will also make it so you cannot roll a 1 when you roll for damage. Spell Sniper can also be really good. So you're going to learn a cantrip, but the main thing is that the number you need to roll to get a critical hit with spells is reduced by 1. Very good. And finally, Warcaster, because if you do maintain a concentration spell, this is huge. You'll get advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration on a spell. Anytime you take damage while concentrating, you have to make one of these checks, so this could be very good as well. At level 5, you're going to get 2 levels 3 spell slots, another sorcery point. You're going to gain a spell and have an opportunity to replace a spell. Now you have access to a bunch of level 3 spells, and here they are. And again, you're likely to want to lean into whatever your type of element is. Haste is also universally good. At At level 6, you're going to get one more level 3 spell slot. You're going to get a sorcery point. You're going to gain another spell. You're going to get elemental affinity damage, so when you cast a spell that deals damage on a type associated with your draconic ancestry, you add your charisma modifier to the damage, so that's huge. You also get elemental affinity resistance. When you cast a spell that deals damage of the type associated with your draconic ancestor, you can spend 1 sorcery point to gain resistance to that damage type. Not nearly as good here. At level 7, you're going to get 1 level 4 spell slot, another sorcery point, and you're going to gain a spell. You'll also be able to replace a spell. Now, if your new spells, you'll get access to level 4 spells. And here they are. I want to point out the greater invisibility here stands out a lot. This is the only invisibility that does not automatically break when you attack or cast a spell. At level 8, you get another level 4 spell slot, another sorcery point. You get to pick another spell. You're going to replace a spell potentially, and you'll get your second feat. Level 9 brings another level 4 spell slot, 1 level 5 spell slot, 1 sorcery point, and you're going to get another spell. You will also get to replace a spell and get access to 5th level spells. These are all very powerful. And you'll have an option to replace a spell. At level 10, you're going to get another level 5 spell slot, another sorcery point. You're going to gain another cantrip. You're going to get another level spell. You're going to gain another spell. You can have a chance to replace the spell, and you'll get an additional passive. And there are no new options for the meta magics, but you get to pick one more. At level 11, you're going to get access to a level 6 spell slot, 1 sorcery point. You'll get the ability to fly, and you'll get 1 more spell. And here are the level 6 spells. Do note that not every damage type gets a level 6 spell. And then level 12, you're going to get another sorcery point. You're going to get to pick another spell. You got to replace a spell, and you're going to get your final feat. Alright, now let's talk about equipment for the Sorcerer. And it's interesting because the main benefit of the Draconic... Alright, next let's go ahead and talk about equipment for the Sorcerer, and specifically the Draconic Bloodline Sorcerer. The main benefits of this subclass is that they're just going to be tankier, and they're going to do more damage because of being able to apply a charisma modifier to spells of one particular element. So you can definitely lean into that high AC effect and try and get as many items that will give you high AC, like a Cloak of Protection, Ring of Protection. You can get clothing that gives you extra AC, similar to how monks utilize such cloth and items. This can be the same focus for this. Now, when it comes to your supplementary items, anything that's going to increase your DC, so your likelihood to minimize enemies resisting your spells, is going to be big on a sorcerer. You can also diversify your power a little bit by trying to get items that will either get you more spell slots so you can cast more, or just access to specific spells so that you can get those extra casts and not utilize your spell slots. You're unlikely to utilize actual staffs or ranged weapons for attacks. Even your cantrips as you level up should be more powerful than those effects, but you can get items that will give you extra stats. So like you could potentially equip a bow just for resistances, or if it provides a spell for you. Of course, anything that will bump up your charisma even higher would be a huge plus. And then of course anything that would bump your charisma and or dexterity even higher, even maybe a constitution to make you more tankier, could be useful as well. Okay, now finally I want to mention multiclassing. This subclass is interesting. I don't think it's quite as good at multiclassing as some of the other subclasses. I could see, for example, you could lean into that natural 13 AC, being able to start with that and maybe a multiclass of a monk that's also unarmored to get your AC higher. But that would be kind of weird because you'd maybe be doing one level of this and the rest of the monk. For the most part, sorcerer, and this sorcerer in particular, because the ability to get extra AC when unarmored and a damage bonus to one elemental type doesn't automatically combo well with anything else. Most of the classes are going to want to wear armor, which defeats half the purpose of this setup. So I probably recommend playing this subclass if you just want to be a pure sorcerer and keep it simple. Alright guys, I hope you found this guide helpful. If you did, please drop a like. If you have questions again, let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to see more from me, and as always, thank you for all the support. I'll see you guys in the next video.